Can you hear me? You can? Good. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। We are in the 10th mantra. इष्टापूर्तं मन्यमानावरिष्टं नान्यच्छ्रेयो वेदयन्ते प्रमूढाः। नाकस्य पृष्ठे ते सुकृतेऽनुभूत्वे नाकस्य पृष्ठे सुकृतेऽनुभूत्वा इमं लोकं हीनतरं वा विशन्ति। इमं लोकं हीनतरं वा विशन्ति। इष्टापूर्तं मन्यमानाः वरिष्ठम्। First I will explain what the mantra meant in those times and how it can be applied or interpreted in today's world. Ishtapurtam manyamana varishtam. Those who consider this kind of karma kanda, our Akhandananda Saraswati Maharaj from Vrindavan, he says, जो कर्मठ होते हैं वो मरकट होते हैं. He was just punning with the shuffling the words here and there, letters here and there. Karmat, those who believe in their actions as the end, as the goal. Markat, markat meaning those who are the monkey kind, monkey brand, because they keep jumping from one karma to the other, trying to achieve something permanent which is an impossible task. Ishtapurtam manyamana varishtham. Those who consider these kinds of karma kanda as the greatest, as the goal. See, these are the means, but if we mistake it to be the goals, what will happen? And they also say, na anyat shreyaha vedayante pramudhaha. These people also vouch for that there is nothing better than the karma kanda and its various applications. So such people who are sold to karma, they can be called as pramudhaha. Murkha is category 1, Mudha is category 2. Those who have specialized in that field, experts in being a murkha, they are called pramudha. They have got postdoctorate in various methods of murkhatva. Nakasya prishte te sukrute anubhutva. Nakasya prishte. Nakasya. Naka means nakam, means come, sukham. Come, that word means not come in English. Come as in Sanskrit means sukham. Akam. Akam means dukkham, that which is not sukham. Nakam, that which is more permanent than the trivial pleasures of this world. So, what is the other word for Swarga? Nakam. Nakasya prishte. So, these people definitely go to the heavens, and after having gone there, sukrute anubhutva, the results of their punya phala, they enjoy in that world. And then what happens? Lokam heenataram va vishanti. They come back to this world, and depending on the intense vasanas that they have generated in this world, they need not be born as human beings alone. Heenataram va vishanti. They can go into any of the options of their vasanas are demanding. So, just for the concept to be understood, I am using it as an example, not that there is a scriptural reference to it. Say, supposing in this life all that we have done is accumulated lot of wealth and lived very stingy, miserly. So, we come back, and not necessary that we come back as a human birth. So, what could be the option? One of the options could be that we born as a squirrel. Why squirrel? Squirrels are said to have a very keen interest in trying to accumulate lot of food for the rainy days. But poor little squirrel has only so much capacity in its memory, that it keeps forgetting where it has kept all the food that it has stocked. And many times it goes to the place where it has hidden and feels so thrilled, so much of food, and then hides it in the second place. All life long it keeps moving. And whenever that particular vasana is done, then the next vasana trait that was more emphatic in this life as a human being, we take to that birth. After having cleared all these different vasanas, Bhagavan thinks that okay, now we can give them give this jiva an opportunity to come back into a human life. It is very clearly stated here. Heenataram va vishanti. Because there are many schools of pandits, there are many thoughts in this particular thing, that once you have reached to the human life, there is no possibility that you can get back to lower life forms. No, there is no guarantee. Upanishad very clearly rubbishes that particular thought. Imagine in this life, if we, whatever patterns that we are developing, it is like a blueprint that we are developing for next life to be. And it's a very suffocating thing, I believe. Why is it a suffocating thing? Because only in the human birth, all the capacities are fully flourished. All the capacities. Say in this life we have been very lazy, lethargic. All that we have done 3 times Swaha, and then sleep through the day. Then in some Amazon jungle, we will be born as a boa constrictor, python. Because what does it do? It is so lazy that it does not even move to hunt for its food. It keeps its mouth open waiting for the prey to come by. And once it has swallowed its prey, then it ties itself around some post, pillar or a tree until that which it has eaten is digested. And then again after a few months, heenataram va vishanti. That is why they say, many masters have said that Manushyatvam, being born as a human being, is one of the rare phenomena to happen. And every human being who is born is searching inadvertently for the same thing. There is nobody who searches for misery, there is nobody who searches for incompleteness. Everybody inadvertently, whether they have brains or no brains. So the child who has, according to the physiological development, they say that their brain has to yet develop. Even that child, when there is discomfort, say in their cradle there is an ant that bit that child, or the cradle is uncomfortable, there is a certain folding because they keep twisting and turning, that it has become a lump and they are very uncomfortably placed in that cradle. What do? Wireless call. Wherever that mother is, she has to run back to that child. Why? Even that child does not like something which is of discomfort in nature. That kid might not even know that it is called hunger, but there is some discomfort here. And the mother is not to be seen. One equipment that he uses, he or she uses right from birth, is this speech. Cry out loud. Janma Siddha Adhikar. We were born crying, we are efficient at that. Even a child has that. So here this particular mantra is trying to say, in our today's world and realm, there are many who believe that, and they also tell, Swamiji, my father or my husband, they are karma yogi. Please bring them, I don't mind prostrating to a karma yogi. No, what I mean is, they are dedicated to their job. Oh, being dedicated to a job doesn't make you a karma yogi. That job that we are doing, where do we dedicate that job? To what altar do we dedicate it to? Makes it a karma yogi. Most of us have the altar which is the initial beginning phase. What is the altar that we dedicate all our actions to? And we as Indian parents love to rub it in. So we come after slogging and working a whole day, and the children, you expect certain results and they don't give us that results, and then we, into their face, we scream. Why do you think that I am working and putting so many hours? It is so that you can be comfortable. Growing up, do you think we had all these comforts? We never had any of these. Now, why are we trying to provide it for you? So that we could not enjoy, you can enjoy. So definitely that is one altar that we can say is a starting phase. That we do all our karma for what? For our family, for our children. So that they can be given the best. But that is not end in all. Ask anybody even though they have been coming to Chinmaya Mission, listening to the lectures, but somehow this subtle point, I don't think it is subtle, but this one beautiful point doesn't go beyond their firewalls. Ask them randomly this question: in your practical day-to-day life, how do you apply Karma Yoga? I take care of my family and I provide for and I protect. This is my Karma Yoga. But that doesn't make it Karma Yoga. Maybe a little subtler than that, then you say, doing good, being good. That also doesn't cut it to make it on the field of Karma Yoga. Little subtler than that are those who make it their life's mission to go out there and serve the community, serve the society, serve a certain cause. Even that service, Swamiji, okay, then tell us what makes it Karma Yoga. Is it a different kind of action that has to be done which makes it Karma Yoga? No. The same actions that we are performing it with a different attitude makes it Karma Yoga. So Guruji very beautifully puts it. He says, it is not important what we do, but it is definitely important how we do what we do, which makes the Karma Yoga. So beautifully said. It is not important what we do, but it is definitely important as what we do as to how we do it. That intensity changes it to be Karma Yoga. Remember always the third shloka of Upadesha Sara, nothing could have been said that simple. That is the true understanding of Karma Yoga. Ishwararpitam nechhaya kritam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. How many words? 4 words. Entire Karma Yoga is filled in there. I will repeat it. Ishwararpitam nechhaya kritam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. This is Karma Yoga. First, nechhaya kritam. So somebody was interpreting it. Nechhaya kritam, desirous of doing ichhaya kritam. Nechhaya kritam, doing it in spite of not being interested in it. Arey Baba. Khatarnak interpretation. Nechhaya meaning doing the action selflessly, performing the action selflessly, and then dedicating it to the highest altar. Now at this moment, as we constantly have in the back of our minds that whatever I am doing, it is to provide for my children, provide for my family, provide for my kith and kin, similar should be in the background, that every single action that I am performing is being performed for the Lord of my heart. How do I do it, Swami? How do I do it for the Lord of my heart? So the interpretation is very beautiful and very simple. Whichever platform that you work on, wherever you are interacting, whoever you are interacting with, interact with the attitude, with the mindset that you are interacting with Paramatma in that form. Why have we in Hindu culture named our children Bhagwan's names? At least by mistake, we take the name of the Lord. Even those names these days are very peculiar names that we end up hearing. One that I can never forget, this was in our own Fort Worth area. They named the kid as Timir. Timir means darkness, andhakara, ajnana, timira, andhakara, moodhatva, all these are synonyms. The first time I heard it, I said, we are changing his name. I call him Tejasvi. The reason we are supposed to name our kids something related to the Lord, so that we are constantly thinking of the Lord. Not just thinking of the Lord, but seeing that child as the Lord. You may have heard this statement, Pati Parameshwar. Have you? Okay, all your smiles indicate positively. Patni is also Parameshwari. That is the second part of the statement which nobody says. I said it. That every form of being that you interact with is nothing but Paramatma. That Paramatma has come into our life taking that particular form. Whether you worship Ganesha, whether you worship Kali, whether you worship Shiva, whether you worship Vishnu, whatever would be the idol of your worship has taken that form to come in your life. See, this concept got deep into me after I went through the life of, it is an autobiography, a travelogue kind of a thing, called In Quest of God by Papa Ramdas of Kanjanghat, Kerala. And you should read that book. Amazing depth. He sets out with the mantra that his guru gave, Ram Nam mantra. And then everybody that comes into his life is Rama. And he called himself as that Rama's Dasa. So he goes out saying that I am going in quest of God. Though God is everywhere, I want to see God in all places in His glory. And somebody comes, takes him, somebody just drops him and says, okay, Rama thought that this is far, there must be some purpose in his own mysterious way. And he believed it in such depth that everything in his life, every person, every experience, he said that was the blessings of Rama, and that was Rama in that form who had come to teach him or guide him. Even there were people, they said, okay, he had certain regulations. He would not eat food with salt and mirchi. He would not eat on few days, he would eat only fruits. So he would said, Baba Ramji, I'll eat only fruits. So I said, I can't afford getting fruits for you. So, this particular street has all rich people. Go beg alms, and whatever money they give, I'll buy fruits for you. They said, okay, Rama's instructions. He would go stand there and ask, beg, and whatever they give, he would give it to this person. I mean, that is not so practical, living. Baba, get the concept. Get the concept that every person that is being introduced in our life, comes across in our life, is the form of the Lord, and it is my duty, it is my responsibility to serve that Lord in that form. And this has to be applied by anybody in any walk of life, whether it be brahmachari, whether it be grihastha, whether it be vanaprastha, whether it be sannyasi. It doesn't matter. Whoever that you are interacting with, And if that intensity is there and you know that that form of Lord is in this format in front of you, now imagine what kind of beauty that comes about in your action. Because if the Lord really has come in that form, would you do anything as a shortcut? Would you do anything to annoy or to irritate that Lord in that form? Imagine just the conviction of that changes the entire lifestyle. Ishwararpitam nechaya kritam. When that done, used as a means, not as a goal. That is the clarity that has to be brought in. These first 10 mantras of this second section in the first chapter, which has been stating, is that do not deal the day-to-day karma as the goal, but deal it as the means to propel yourself to the next stage of spiritual evolution. Because all these actions, limited, will give us only limited result, take us to Swarga. Nakasya prushte te sukrute anubhutva imam. And after having gone to Swarga, the meager accumulated punya that we have, is spent. You go for a vacation and or you go to that mela or the arcade, you take your kids to various these arcade and is it called arcade? Those machines and other things. So right in the beginning, you give them a card, $10 worth, $5 worth, whatever. And you know, when will they come back to you? When that card is done with, isn't it? Similarly, how long will we be in Swarga? As long as the punya card works. And after that punya card is exhausted, it is like a debit card, not a credit card. It will work only if you have in the account. After that is exhausted, you are picked back into the Martya Loka. And what form do we take? Any form that, see, if in this world we have lived like a stone-hearted person, no spandana, no response to anything, probably will that particular jiva will be born like a tree. How old are the redwood trees here? 2000 years old. Tall. Up there, the tree doesn't have the capacity to suck water all the way up there. It has to survive by the moisture that is there in the environment there, in the atmosphere there. Poor fellow, that jiva. So whenever I am in nature, there are many kinds of thoughts that go in my head. One, the beauty of the creator. Second, in that beauty trapped is the jiva. Poor jiva. For how many years is he trapped there? 2000 years. बेचारा खड़ा है वहां पे. Can you imagine standing for 10 minutes still? 2000 years. Martya lokam heenataram va vishanti. We come back to this world, and it need not be a human birth, it can be any birth depending on our different sets of vasanas. Hence, therefore, the scriptures have always indicated what is the way out. The way out is given in the starting from the 11th mantra. Repeat after me. Tapashraddheye hyupavasantyaranye Shanta vidvamso bhaikshcharyam charantaha Good effort. Suryadvarena te viraja prayanti Yatramritasya purusho havyayatma Tapaha shraddha ye upavasanti. Those who build tapascharya and shraddha in their heart. One of our recent most saints used to always guide his disciples with these two words. He used to say shraddha and then saburi. For many years I didn't understand the meaning of saburi. It later dawned. Saburi means sabr, to have patience. Shraddha, faith doesn't cut it, it doesn't give the entire meaning. Shraddha, faith plus reverence plus respect plus trust plus belief, all that put together plus something else. That is the depth of that word Shraddha. Those who inculcate tapascharya and shraddha in their heart and have the courage to live in solitude. We will come to that as to what are different phases of solitude. Swami ji, sab log sannyasi ban gaye, to what will happen to this world? Why do you worry? Are you the CEO of this universe? Let him bother. Narada took away first 2 crops of creation into sannyasa. Did he not create again? Sinking so deep in all kinds of rubbish, and still it is sort of global talk. What will happen to the universe? It will be a better place, I bet. Let us come back to that. What does solitude mean? Shantaha vidvamsaha. And then what are they doing in their solitude? Not whiling away their time, not whining about the rest of the time that they are working. In that solitude, shantaha, inculcating the habit of being in peace. I tell you, with already having different kinds of vasanas, the new trend of addictions that we are in the world right now, I have seen people, the moment they wake up, first thing, any emails, कि दुनिया डूब जाएगा. And I have heard so many people say, I don't know what we would have done without cell phone. We would have been a better place. The quickness in communication. Fine, we have made lot of leaps in earlier it was, and earlier days when there was the telegram sent. You watch the old movies, Hindi movies, it would always be with that serious music. Why? Telegram. Telegram means something bad. And today, anywhere in the world you can send a text message at no cost. Those were the days and these are the days. Even while sitting in a satsang, cannot put away these instruments. Many people don't know. There is the camera there up there. Oh, is there? Yeah, the inverted Shivalinga, which is supposed to record me. So one day I was fiddling around with it. And for some reason the session had begun. And they were chanting these shlokas. I arrived late, so I had asked them to start. It was rude on my behalf to enter in when it was halfway through. So I was waiting inside that room. I call it Vishwadarshana. So I was fiddling around with that camera, and while fiddling it, and I moved it inadvertently. I moved it, and it came right on the spot of those backbenchers. 3-4 of them texting away. And the teachers tell me, Swamiji, tell the kids, during satsang or during assembly, the kids are texting each other. बच्चे तो बच्चे, बाप भी बिगड़े हुए. They are also similar. Cannot just put it away. We are so intertwined in it that to find 2 moments of peace, there is fear. अब क्या करूं? What should I do? I have nothing to do. I am feeling bored. Catch that boredom. Chuppa chuppi khelo with that boredom. What do you call chuppa chuppi in English? Hide and seek. पकड़ो तो सही boredom को. And then use that prashanta Vatavarana, that entire environment, to do what? Vidvamsaha, in serious contemplation. Bhaikshcharyam charantaha. Bhaikshacharya, whatever has to come by in life, let it unfold, let it come. Such people are indeed the blessed ones. Now let us get back to tapa and shraddha. There are 2 things in life. One is called tapascharya, the other one is called titiksha. Both of them have a little difference. Before we step into tapascharya, we have to learn titiksha. Then we can get qualified for tapascharya. So what is titiksha? This is not a new concept that I am bringing. I have already said this many times. In the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the 14th shloka talks about it in detail. What does titiksha mean? Life is full of twists and turns. Don't you agree? We plan one thing, something else happens. So this kid brings this paper, artwork. Swamiji, guess what it is. No clue. So as a clue, that kid says, turn the page, you will get a clue. I turned the page, still no clue. I turned it upside down. And I said, I lost. You tell me. It was looking like a ladder. Okay. On both sides, there were 2 brown streaks and there were lines across these parallel lines. They are not exactly parallel, somewhere up and down. kid says, I didn't want to say a ladder, because if it is not a ladder, he'll feel really bad. So I kept quiet. Maunam is best weapon sometimes. So I asked, you tell me what it is. He said, it is a snake trying to catch its own tail. So he had two parallel lines on both sides of page, and there was those streaks were the snake's body. I was going to ask, where is the head, where is the tail? He said, the head is eating the tail. When they bring, we are as much surprised, we don't know what they are bringing. Similarly is life. We never know what turns and twists. Banana kuch chahta the ban kuch jata hai. He wanted to make a snake, it became a ladder. Even in our lives. When first statue of Gurudev, after his Mahasamadhi in 93, 94, there was this statue inaugurated in Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Bombay. A majestic 7.5 feet tall. His Guru Bhai, who was then the head of Divine Life Society, Swami Chidanandji, they had all taken sannyas on the same day. So he was invited to inaugurate it. So he came by, inaugurated it, offered flowers at his feet, unveiled it, unveiled it, offered flowers at his feet, and very silently was walking. He was a very man of very few words. One of the reporters who was assigned the job to find the initial reactions of Chidanandji. You can comment on it later. So she kept on asking, what is your opinion, what is your first feeling, what is your... He kept avoiding it. बहुत अच्छा है, decoration अच्छा है, the design is good, the decoration is good, the entire environment is good. No, Swamiji, how is the statue? And that was one question he didn't want to answer. He kept avoiding it and circumventing the entire thing. But she didn't give up. And then finally he said, somebody should have, a placard or something written, this is Swami Chinmayananda. Because for those of us who have seen him live, to suddenly see it in a murti, and which has a vague resemblance, now nowhere near to it, it didn't even feel like real. It was very, very decently put by Chidanandji. Life also is like that. We try to make something out of it, something else only happens. And as life unfolds itself, without reacting to it, ability to respond to every event that is unfolding in life with a balanced mind, that is called titiksha. After having achieved it, then is tapascharya. We have not even started meditation, okay? The foundation itself is wobbling, and then we want to take a dab at the highest step. Why? It has become a fad. What? I also meditate. Good for you. One good American word that I like. Good for you. So after taking care of that first step, that as life is unfolding, maintaining that equanimity and responding to every situation consciously, then is tapascharya. What is tapascharya? All that which is comforting, one by one, pick those things that which are comforting, which have become almost like addictions in life. For example, early morning tea or coffee. See, there is nothing wrong in having tea or coffee, don't get me wrong. But being addicted to it and feel the sense of comfort in such depth that the absence of it throws you off balance. Pick that as tapasya. In initial beginning stages, say for 15 days, no coffee, no tea. And then increase it 1 month. And whatever is your basic things that trouble you, your patterns that trouble you. You know you could achieve a lot only if you could cut down on sleep. Say you sleep 10 hours a day. In 10 hours, Swamiji, there are people sleeping like that. You will be shocked. So what should be tapasya? Cut it down to, gradually decrease it. As the kind of activity we do, that much amount of rest is not required. And that's also a habit. There are the other extreme. There are people who overdo and sleep hardly. So what should be the tapasya? That at least sleep every day. There are people, I am not kidding. I have come across people who don't sleep for 2-3 days. Why? I have a project on hand. Yeah, so to lo. And there are people who say, all these obsessive things that we are intertwined with. We ourselves are not perfect. But we want perfection from everybody that we interact with. How dare we can even demand that? Keep that as tapasya. Whatever is troubling you at this moment, get out of that comfort zone. Giving away something which you are cocooned in as a comfort is tapasya. For that you need lot of stamina. If the day-to-day life it cannot be handled with equanimity, do you think we can take this extra step of having tapasya? So after observing me for 2 years, so one of the Shivaratri times, he said, I was working, whole day I was working. In the afternoon he saw me. कुछ खाया सवेरे से? बोला नहीं. जाओ कुछ खाओ. And I don't know what happened in his mind. He said, रुको, चलो मेरे साथ. And he took me to his room and then made somebody said, go get something to eat. अब बैठ के खाओ मेरे सामने. And then he said, with a lot of compassion in his eyes, he said, for many who don't work, for them the tapasya is to not eat. For somebody like you who is working whole day long, your tapasya is to not miss a single meal. See, we get carried away even in this tapasya. I fast. I also fast, but just one word in front of it. I eat fast. See, what is the purpose of the tapasya? To grab that mind out of its comfort zone, to grab that mind out of its complacency. If maintaining fast helps grab that mind out, fast. If by maintaining that fast it gets over agitated, stop fasting. Eat fast. So that is the balance of tapasya. And then develop shraddha. Shraddha in what? Shastrasya guru vakyeshu atmanam devatancha. 4 places. Have complete faith in God. What kind of faith? That if He has put us through a difficult situation, He would give us the solution also, the strength to go through it also. See, even if you observe nature, like I was going to Amarnath, and after a certain while, it is such a steep climb. And there is nothing that you can rest on. It's continuous steep climb. And suddenly it drops like a 60-70 degree drop. After walking for half a day, बड़े-बड़े पहलवानों की निकल जाती है. We were gasping for air. There's a little kid who does this trip twice in a day with the horses. So he looked at us and Bauji. And then he quickly climbed the hilly side of it, got back some herbs, and then squeezed it, crushed it, and said, keep smelling it. And the moment we started smelling it, it eased our breathing. Wherever there is a problem, the solution is also provided by the Lord. That is how nature works. That is how He keeps entire nature in balance. The one who could provide for food and every requirement for you when you are in the womb, don't you think He will take care of you when you are out of the womb? Think about it. I mean, it should not again be misunderstood that, and become complacent in life. Understanding this and acting with that kind of confidence in Bhagavan. Second, that which explains the glory of Bhagavan. What is that? The scriptures. Shastra. Having trust in Shastra. Now, when I say having trust in Shastra, what does it mean? Whenever we take to this scriptural study or any scriptural injunction, we start with disbelief. There is nothing wrong to investigate, there is nothing wrong to question, so that you can get better clarity. But if we doubt, it leads us nowhere. Without even investigating, just because we don't understand certain things, we are ready to trash the entire scriptural knowledge. And what is the logic? It doesn't make sense. Right? There's so many things that we do, that we have, that doesn't make sense. Do we just trash everything? So when we go through the scriptures, go with the openness. Open your heart to Shruti Mata. And when we go with that openness, sahana vavatu, sahano bhunaktu, may that effort put with that openness. And it is not a shocking experience. The scriptures will reveal unto you. The inner depths, inner meanings will reveal to you in your contemplation, in your sadhana. Shastra and then Deva. Third, that Guru who is bringing that Shastra to our doorstep so that we can understand. Shastra, Guru and Deva. And the last one, we may have Deva Krupa, we may have Shastra Krupa, we may have Guru Krupa. All three things may be given. But if we don't have the last part of faith, and what is that faith in? Our own self. You know, we listen to scriptures, especially on Saturdays and Sundays, it is fun watching different facial expressions. You know, these are all high funda things, you know. When the days through the lecture, it feels good to hear, but I don't think these are practical things that can be applied. It's just a feel good factor, it's just a psychological thing. Good for you. There have been students, Uttamadhikaris, whose Guru gave them one instruction. Just one instruction, and the Guru attained Mahasamadhi. You are Paramatma himself. And with the conviction that the Guru gave the guidance, they realized. Sabari. I think the word sabr comes from Shabari. What amount of patience she had. When she was a young girl, when she approached, when everybody else refused taking or giving shelter to her, her Guru gave her the shelter. And looking at her, he gave only one advice. Keep the ashram and the entire path to the ashram clean daily. Why? Ramji will himself come to bless you. Bhagavan, when he takes avatar in the form of Rama, he will come to bless you. If I and you were there by third day, कब आ रहे हैं? आ रहे हैं कि नहीं? और क्या गारंटी है? What is there to believe here? It is not practical. Look at that Shabari. What amount of Shraddha in Guru Vakya. And when she was ripe, old, Ramji comes. And she says, I knew one day I would definitely see you, Maharaj. And for that one day, there was not even one day in between that she slacked behind saying, well, when he comes, I'll say. And that in today's standard is called smartness. Effective working. I'll employ 2 people, keep them in the downhill. When Ramji is coming, दौड़ के आके बताना. Then I'll go clean up the entire place. Why? Guru said. And you know why we don't have darshan of Bhagavan? It is exactly because of that dumbness called smartness. Those are the ones in the earlier shloka who are called pramudhaha. Guruji doesn't give mantra diksha to anybody. And this mantra diksha was given because that fellow was insisting. So he gave Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So student, when that disciple comes back, when he asked, I was there. When he came back also, I was still there. He says, Guruji, personal question. What? I need a change of mantra. That is not hilarious. So Guruji looks at him amused. He says, why? बहुत बड़ा मंत्र है. Give me some shorter mantra. Like, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Om, Om Namo Narayanaya. You asked me to do 10 malas? It's becoming impossible. So what? Cut short the mantra. Trust in the words of your Guru. And that one instruction is more than enough to change the life. But we don't have that kind of faith. We slack behind, we drop, there's so many conveniences that we develop. Not even funny to go in that field. Tapaha Shraddha. Upavasanti Aranye. Aranye, in the forest, dwell in the forest. The idea being, the crux being, acquire solitude. Meaning, at least in a day, spend few minutes with yourself, wherein don't speak. I had seen my father. Until he had done his puja, he would not speak to anybody and he would not respond to anybody. Morning puja. And that was not the only time that he would not speak. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Once he sits to eat, whatever be the kind of food, no comments, no commentaries. Eat and get up. And later he would not even comment on the food. अच्छा है, गंदा है, या कुछ अच्छा कर सकते हो, नहीं कर सकते हो, nothing. And the same thing I had seen in my grandfather. Now going back into their system or their way of life, it reflects a lot. Few moments in a day, sit without getting distracted with gadgets, with instruments, with anybody to do with outside world. Stay firm in that. Stay in that solitude. And when you are in that solitude, don't be carried away by boredom, by feeling useless or worthless. I don't know, I'm sitting in solitude, I could have done this, I could have achieved so much. Shanta. That is the next word. Acquire that peace. We, the greatest aspect of this creation, claim to control so many things in this world, cannot control one stupid aspect called mind. Our own mind. We just can't say, shut up. And the mind says, kyun? Sleep. I don't want to. Wake up. Why? Eat. I don't feel like it. And this is how our mind reacts. So I was at somebody's house and this mother definitely with lot of effort, lot of love must have prepared it. and the kid goes, really pushes the plate away. The food sucks. I said, mark my words to that kid. I took that kid aside and I said, mark my words, 10-15 years down the lane, when you will have your kids, and when you slog with all your love to give them the best that you can afford, and then your kid throws it across your face, that is the day you will appreciate your mother's efforts. Not until then. The mother comes back and tells me, Swamiji, after that he has never done such kind of things on the dining table. He eats whatever is given. We just don't appreciate what we have. And in that appreciation, dwell in that peace. Rather than being impatient, restless, agitated. It's an acquired quality. You're not born with it. You have to acquire it. And then he says, in that silent moment, contemplate on the highest truth. Contemplate on the conscious aspect of life, beautiful aspect of life, and the auspicious aspect of life. That which can take you to the core of your own being, contemplate on that. Vidvamsaha bhaikṣacharyam charantaha. See, what is the attitude of bhiksha? You have absolutely no say what comes your way. Isn't it? So you are going on streets begging for alms. Can you sit there in front of that house and say, sorry my lady of the house, I have little ulcer. Can you give me something else? Whatever comes your way. That again goes back to Shraddha. We get what we deserve, though not what we desire. जिस दिन ये समझ में आ गया ना, there will be such contentment in life. Such people, they go through the Uttara Dwara. See, north in Sanskrit is called Uttara. Uttara has two meanings. One, it indicates the direction. Second, through Tarane. Through means to evolve. Uttarane. That is why in Hindi, to pass and to graduate to the next grade, it is called Uttirna. It comes from this word through Tarane. Uttarane, to evolve to a higher state of being or existence. So such people who develop this, they Suryadvarena te virajaha prayanti. They should get realized in this life. Even if they miss realizing it here, because of this kind of tapasya and shraddha that is maintained throughout the life, that at the end of the life, their punya takes them directly to Brahmaloka. What happens in Brahmaloka? 24/7 you are in that highest contemplative state. And when Brahmaji's tenure is finished, you merge into Paramatma. That is the Uttara Marga. Those who don't do this, they go through the Dakshina Dwara. You know what is in Dakshina Dwara? Even I was surprised when the relations get sour, or when a deal goes, they say it went south. I was really surprised to hear that usage, because who is in south? Our Yama. Yamaraj is waiting to churn you back into the system of wheel. So what should the individual do if this is the kind of instruction? So that is stated in the 12th mantra. This is also very famous, very important mantra. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayan nasti akritah kritena tad vijnanartham sagurumevabhigachet shrotriyam samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtham. So what should the individuals like us do? First, see the magnanimity of the scriptures. It is not laying out commandments saying thou art doomed if you don't. That is the one option. This is the second option. And then what is the instruction? It says to the student or to us individuals, Pariksha lokan karmachitan. Every aspect of our life, pariksha, investigate into it. What is it that I want in life? What is it that I have to learn? What is it that I have to give up? Where is it that I have to reach? What is the purpose of my very being? Say if you understood, tomorrow morning you wake up and you investigate and you say, going to New York is my goal of life. And you get into your car and you start driving. And after 5-6 hours of your driving, you see that Mexico border. Swamiji, you said New York, right? Exactly. Whatever is the purpose that you investigate and find, if what you are doing is contrary to that purpose, is it an intelligent life? Is it a worthy life? Is it a worthy lifestyle? Everybody aims for happiness and does exactly contrary to reach that state of happiness. What do you call that kind of a lifestyle? Pause. If things are going haywire and you are not reaching where you are supposed to, stop. Take account of all things that are happening, investigate into every nitty-gritty details and blast every information in. Thorough investigation. Kar kya raha hu? What exactly am I doing? Where am I supposed to head to? What am I leading myself to? Pariksha lokan. Here lokan doesn't mean investigate the outside world. Investigate your world of experiences. And one good investigation is in the waking world. But instead people become so serious. Swamiji, I had this dream wherein I saw so many lights and it was all well lit. There are lots and lots of bulbs, lit bulbs. What is the meaning of this dream? वेकिंग का मतलब तो समझा नहीं, ड्रीम का क्या समझाऊं? So, next time what you do, take a big duffel bag, get all those bulbs, we will use it in Saket. Swami ji, I am asking seriously, मैं भी seriously बोल रहा हूँ. Here Lokan means the world of experience in your waking world. Here Brahmana means whatever field that you are in, whatever is the expertise that you hold, investigate it thoroughly again. Nirvedamayan na asti akritaha kritena. Nirvedamayan, one good word is nichodna. Squeeze every ounce of wisdom from your own experience. You will find one truth. And what is the truth? Na asti akritaha kritena. That which we are trying to accomplish cannot be accomplished through the field of actions. And this is exactly the meaning what Bhagavan says in again the second chapter while introducing Karma Yoga. We all know the shloka. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. And for such a gem of that shloka, what is the poor interpretation? Do your best to leave the rest. Ouch. It hurts. Because that is not a justified meaning for that. And there are some cliches that we Hindus carry around. Anybody asking what is Karma Yoga? Do your best, leave the rest. My new cliche to add to that is shut up and arrest. Your thought right there. Because what does it mean? That which you are searching, karmani eva adhikaraha, karma you cannot give up, ma phaleshu kadachana. And this karma cannot give you that phala which you are anticipating through it. What is the phala that we are anticipating? Peace and happiness. Can we gain it? Our own life's experiences, when we squeeze every ounce of wisdom out of it, will reveal this fact, naked truth. That we have gone through this road umpteen number of times, hitting the dead end, reaching nowhere. And if you have not reached that point, I pray to that Almighty that you reach there sooner than later. That dead end. The most hilarious irony here is everybody goes through that experience, that we hit that dead end and we take the same road with the anticipation maybe today it will open up and give me a better result. Karma cannot give happiness. It is not in the nature of karma to give peace and happiness. It cannot provide that. See, when we are trying to get something which is not its nature, and we keep quarreling with that karma, who will be disappointed? Who will be disenchanted with life? Ourselves. It may seem funny because I put it that way, Just ask question, simple question, how are you? People tell their entire life in their response. What chal raha hai? Getting along. And some of the most disturbing answers, pulling along, hanging in there. Just close your eyes and visualize it, pulling along. What picture do you get? That there is such a huge burden that is, tied down to their waist and they are pulling along. Hanging in there, सब कुछ कट गया, बस एक ही बचा है, पकड़ा हूं. I seldom come across anybody who says, how are you? They responds with a cheer in their response and says, ekdam changa. Yeah, the best, the greatest. How are you? So. क्या अभी भी सो के उठे हो? And the worst part, they immediately anticipate sympathy. Arre, what happened? Utho. That is what was Kathopanishad saying. Uttisthata, get up out of that slumber. Jagrata, wake up from that. Prapyavaran nibodhata. We are not only in that hanging state, but we glamorize it in such a way that we can seek attention. मैं लटक रहा हूँ थोड़ा सा. How long will we go on with that? There should be one cut-off point wherein they say, enough is enough, let me pull myself out of it. And having reached to that point, saying that yes, I have seen through this karma. What do I require? I require a better guidance. Hence, therefore, tad vijnanartham saha gurum eva abhigachet. Approach a guru. Samit panihi. I gave you right why this is called Mundakopanishad. Shaven head with the burning embers on their head and the twigs tied in bunches in their hands. Samit panihi. Samit panihi indicates all that in one picture. Probably to indicate that I have seen through life. There is no sara in it. How is it? It is like this dried twigs. Meaning, I am now true to my conviction that the world cannot sway its colors on me any further. Dry twigs indicate that amount of dispassion. So, the dispassionate one goes to the Guru. And how do we identify Guru? That's a big question, big dilemma again. There is no eguru.com. Is there? I don't know. Wherein you go and say, I need a 6-footer, anywhere between 40 to 60, a long white dadi preferable, a little paunch, akhanda mandala karam. Can we do guru shopping? If the first 2 steps are taken care of this very mantra, the first 2 lines are taken care of, that prepared individual is blessed by the Guru who visits him. You don't need to search for a Guru. Guru comes to you. Say, beta, do you need any help? And when you do get such, Don't give that opportunity away for anything else in life. Nothing is worth. Grab it with both your hands. And how should that guru be? The scriptures have even defined that guru. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. 2 qualifications. Erudite and scholarly, well read through the scriptures. Those who can give the entire crux of the Upanishads or entire crux of the scriptures in a language that student can understand. And it is not given that this Upanishad is saying or that Upanishad is saying. It is my experience, hence therefore I am telling you. It is from that authenticity, from their own personal experience, Brahmanishtham, that they are giving the guidance to the Shishya. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. And having reached to such Guru, and what should the Shishya do? It's again very seriously pathetic condition. After having got such Guru, where is our focus and attention? Even around such Gurus, you will find Sishyas, so-called Sishyas. There is competition, there is jealousy, there is bragging, pulling, pushing. With Gurudev or Guruji, I see, and with 3-4 people they'll cook and bring. Okay, lay them down and introduce, this is what I have cooked, and leave it at it. No. They'll make sure that the earlier person who had brought sab vanish. He should eat my food only. Pagalpan. Again got limited. What should a student who has seen the depths of karma yoga or depths of the field of karma, कर्म की भूमि को उसने निचोड़ के देखा है, then there is no sara in it, it's nissara. Should that student be wasting again in this kind of gymnastics? So that is also indicated. What should the student do in the 13th mantra, which is a glorious ending for this chapter. Tasmai savidvan upasannaya samyak prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya yenaksharam purusham veda satyam provachatam tattvato brahma vidyam. I'll take another 4-5 minutes extra today. I had reached the ashram. This is way back in 93. And I had reached there a week before or something that our Vedanta course was to begin. And they were laying the flooring for a certain part of what we call today as the Annakshetra. Annakshetra is where food is served, the kitchen and the food serving area. So they had a tiles, they removed it, then they had marble, they removed it. Like within 2 days or 3 days span, there were 2 different kinds of floorings. The entire place was laid down and again ripped off. What a waste of resources. So I went straight to Guruji. I said, Swamiji, I think there is a lot of wastage. This can be done in this way, and whatever has been, it can be reused in this way. I went with a whole plan. So very patiently, with a big smile on his face, he, very relaxed, listened to me. and then immediately bends forward, picks his phone, intercom, calls the manager of the ashram, and the manager of the ashram comes in running, and I am thinking that he has taken my notes seriously, and so as soon as the manager comes, he says, "Iska naap lena, take a measurement, and by tomorrow give him brown clothes." All those who worked in the ashram, they used to wear brown khaki color clothes. एक इसके लिए सिलवा देना. So I was like shocked, surprised, all put together, that emotion in my face looking at him. I thought he is very clear. I thought you came here to study, but if you are interested in this, we have a different uniform for them. I don't mind you joining that either. And that one statement straightened me for the entire life. Why should we reach, when we reach the Guru, what should our focus be? कमरा कैसा है, कमर कैसा है, flooring कैसा है? These are not the things to be focused on. Tasmai sa vidwan upasannaya samyak, having reached such great soul, such great master, prashanta chittaya samanvitaya, in their presence, acquire that peace within. Subdue all your organs of perception and action, bring them in your control. Then, when you approach and the teacher feels that you are qualified, provachatam tattvato brahma vidyam, they are inducted to the highest science of life, which is called Brahma Vidya. And what is that Brahma Vidya? Come back next month, we will start with it, which is in the second chapter. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Nitish.